We get that phone call. We just got one yesterday. It's the funniest thing. And I almost want to train my staff to say, you know what? Just come in only when you want to be healthy. That's what I want to say. I don't, but I should.
Well, the reason that we end up coming back to a chiropractor again and again and again is because you feel better.
You do feel better.
And it's like, why would I ever want to stop?
Why would you want to go back to the original place
that got you in trouble?
Yeah, which is where you were at the last hope stages. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, chiropractic care is the last hope for many people, where they've done the drugs, they've done surgery, they've done physical therapy, and it's not to say it doesn't work for some, but to me, medicine in general for proactive care or wellness care is very invasive. You know, you're polluting your body with something you probably didn't need in the first place. Mm-hmm. It's not changing the fact that you have areas in your spine that are infringing on your innate intelligence ability to heal yourself. And so we're just drugging it. We're just masking it with pills, and it never goes away. And so when those pills don't work, guess what? We go back to the doctor again, and unfortunately, you know what they're going to do? Well, let me tell you what, we have a stronger one. And so we'll do that for a while. And then, geez, after about 6-8 months or a year, and the thing is, they don't follow up on you. The only follow-up is when the prescription amounts, the refills run out, then they go back. And the doctor can determine whether or not he's going to up it again, or he says, you know what, we should probably look into something else. And at this point is when many people have kidney and liver problems. So they've been doing it for years, and now it's, hey, you know what, we probably shouldn't have gone this route for the last 5-10 years. Kidneys aren't working so hot. Liver's really working overtime trying to detoxify the body. And do you know that it's actually harder to get a kidney now? I mean, there's like 8,000 to 10,000 kidney transplants per year. 50,000 renal failures, and it's from over-the-counter prescription drugs.
Well, this summer I started to have about the middle of the summer pain in my kidneys, or right there in the back. I went to my chiropractor and said, no, there's nothing really wrong with your back. It might be your kidneys. From the IBS, my doctor kept telling me to get this laxative and flush my system twice a week because I was so constipated, and it was horrible, and he just kept giving me more pills. And more pills. And I finally went to my chiro, and I said, look, I can't do this. He's like, okay, well, then let's not. Just stop taking the pills. Yeah. And then I went to his wife, who's my nutritionist. And
fantastic.
Now things work better.
Allow the body to heal itself, you know. It just has to be fed the right things here.
I think right now I'd like to shift into another topic because I know we don't have that much time.
Sure.
And I think this is right along the lines. We could go into the big pharm and psychotropic drugs, but I'd like to kind of stay on the positive tip.
Sure.
So going along with chiropractics, diet and exercise. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. They go hand in hand.
Let's go exercise the diet. How about that?
Okay, I think that's great. So I think the majority of the public thinks when, in order to get in shape, they need to exercise. And bottom line, part of the chiropractic lifestyle is movement is life. You know, you need to keep moving. So my grandfather, he was 92 as a farmer, you know, and an MD told him to hang up his hoe. No more farming. And, you know, in under a year and a half, he died. And he always used to jokingly say, if you rest, you rust. And it's true. And I kind of live that lifestyle myself. The issue is you can work out till you're blue in the face, and you might hardly lose any weight. You might be more toned, but you'll really not be fit. So the definition of fitness really is probably about 25% exercise, but it's about 75% nutrition. So you can work, like I said, you can work out till you're blue in the face, but if we just go out and have, fried dough and chicken wings, we're probably not going to be too fit.
Drink beer all night.
And then drink beer and have some cigarettes. We're probably not going to do so hot. So, you know, it's kind of hand in hand. But nutrition, believe it or not, our diet is about 3 times as much more important than the exercise itself. But you need both. You know, it's that whole. It's almost like the whole foods approach. You need everything.
Yeah, I wanted to say this. I get those like white spots on my nails.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that at all, but from what I had heard, like a year ago, it was a lack of vitamins.
B. Yeah.
And I forget which one it was exactly.
It's generally a B vitamin.
Yeah. Okay. So B. So I was taking these B vitamin like supplements or whatever, and it worked. My nails were like clear. now I came to you. I stopped taking those. I was asking you about calcium and things.
Yes.
I've been eating salads every day, and my nails are clear. Kale, spinach,
That's right. Darker
romaine,
the better.
lots of veggies in there.
Sure.
And I have to say, it does make a difference just from my fingernails.
Huge difference.
And my circulation is
Absolutely.
feeling a lot better, too.
Good for you. That is great. Dark green leafies are loaded with B vitamins, so you don't even need to supplement because you're doing the nutritional thing, which is what your body needs. You know, it's craving it. So good for you.
How about for all the people that are anti-meat? What are your thoughts on the meat?
Well, that's an interesting ball of wax for sure. So, you know, for whatever reason, some people do it for health reasons. Other people do it for practically,
Compassionate reasons
yeah,
or whatever.
Sure. So, the issue is they will need to supplement, you know, B vitamins at some point. So, you can get a lot, but some you can only get. I think it's B12. You can only get from an animal product. So, you know, it's fine. You just need to make sure your protein is high, and you'll have to, without question, supplement the B12. Otherwise, your body's going to go into a state of disrepair.
Okay. On the topic of food, since we're there, we'll just cover GMOs.
Sure.
Like, what do you know about GMOs?
I can't say I know a lot, other than every time that, you know, a seed is basically having offspring of more seeds, you know, when you put it in a different environment, you know, you're going to change what kind of flourishes from that. And so now we're doing it in labs, which is unfortunate because they're trying to create the same nutritional value, of which they're not, more or less to make more product to serve the masses, which isn't always the best thing, because now we're going to end up with, you know, we just talked about, to be fit, it's about 75% nutrition, 25% exercise.
Right.
And here now we're going to kind of put these things made in a lab into that body.
It's synthetic almost.
Yeah. And so it's not going to happen right away. Although there's a lot of politicking going on with all of that, and it's pushing through very quickly. But what you're going to see is in about 10 years, you're going to see a whole new world of health problems. I mean, there's literally going to be health problems that are going to directly stem from the ingestion of GMO foods.
And that'll be perfectly priming all the new drugs that'll come out.
That's right. Well,
Have a new vaccine?
yeah, and if you think about who's supporting that the most, not to get into conspiracy theories or anything.
Oh, I love it. Bring it on. Okay, so vitamins, just real quick. This is the last
Sure.
thing I want to cover on the food tip. Minus actually bread. I know that a lot of bread is made with, you know, the white flour that has bromine in it. It's all brominated. What are your thoughts on all that?
You know, I think we're lucky to live where we live, and I think that there's a lot of outlets where we can find, say, breads that are made without any preservatives. You know, bread shouldn't have a half-life of plutonium. You know, we're just putting, you know, when Wonder Bread can last that long, it can't be good for you, you know, and so we, oddly enough, when an animal, say your family pet ingests poison, they actually, a vet will tell you to roll up a ball of Wonder Bread and shove it down their throat because it leaches all the vitamins and everything out of the body that's in the walls of the gut, including the poison that they just ingested.
Wow.
So if you want to ensure to be unhealthy, continue with Wonder Bread.
What's the Kent Hovind quote?
Oh, whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead.
In a sense, it's sad, but, you know, I just think that if you can, I'm just a big fan of buy local. You know, if you can buy locally,
Totally.
you can get breads that are made locally. We have multiple bakeries around here. There's a lot of Mennonite places to go, and it's just, to me, it's crazy, one, to not support that, and two, you know that they're only using the best natural products that they can get their hands on if they haven't made it. So we have a choice, so it's about making the right choice.
Or there's Walmart.
Or there's Walmart.
Yeah. Okay, so
I like that energy.
onto vitamins.
Sure.
This is just all I know, but
Okay.
there's a lot of people trying to push vitamins.
Yeah, big business.
Now, my understanding is there's 3 grades of vitamins. There are synthetic vitamins, there are natural vitamins, and then there are live vitamins. Now, synthetic obviously being fake. natural being once living but now dead, and live, which are the ones that you would want because they're alive and well and going to work inside you. It's almost pointless to consume the other two.
No, you're pretty much
So
right.
when you go to Walmart and try to get vitamins, probably not going to get live vitamins.
Majority are synthetic, but the big thing is a lot of people or products get around that by telling you how natural they are and pushing their product. So you almost have to do your research on that particular company. And the probably the biggest nightmare with vitamins that the majority of people are not aware of is what kind of standards they're held to even be in production. So there's not a huge regulatory program out there on vitamins. And so what happens is, let's say a new article of the day comes out and it's on, say, fish oil. All right, so omega-3s are big. And believe me, if there's one thing you could take, it would be taking in some sort of fish oil, and that is true. So when we're talking about live forms of all that, I mean, fantastic. But then you have to consider the source. So, like, let's say you ran off to Walmart to get that, although I didn't want to say that. But
Spring Valley.
Right. So, and there's other ones as well. And if you even look at where they're coming from, many of them are coming from China. Well, when they come from China to the U.S., they're not necessarily tested. So it's very loose testing, if you will. And so the amount of, say, lead and mercury that are involved in fish in general, which is why, farm-raised fish is a little bit more harmful or toxic to us than if you bought wild caught. And so when you have a choice, you want to buy wild caught or go catch it yourself as much as possible. So many of the fish oils might even be taken from the farm raised because they're in such abundance, and now they're made into capsules, of which we're buying. And so we're ingesting just more mercury and more lead. Here we're trying to supplement ourselves and be on the healthier side of things. And now we're taking in more heavy metals. And you're going to find that in everything. I'm talking, even if you went with lotions, there's heavy metals in lotions.
Yeah, we were talking about lotions. We talked about sunscreen.
Yeah,
soap,
sunscreen. Yeah.
Shampoo, toothpaste, deodorant, all that
It's
stuff.
in all of it.
Guys,
I know. What are we supposed to use?
better to block the sun than
And how do you...
It's
and how
true.
do you I just don't understand, like, there at some point you have to go, there's like something intentional going on.
Well, it does make you wonder, but I
Scratch your
try
head a
not
little.
to go that route. I tend to think that the majority of the products that are out there
To make money.
are to
And
make
to
money.
last.
And so we want to find the cheapest ingredients to put in here so that our profit margin is the largest, and it will do at least some of what it's intended to do. So let's put it this way. I'll just give you one quick example of sunscreen, and then I'll shush up. The majority of sunscreens that you buy over the counter and wherever, if our store of choice right now is Walmart, one ingredient, we'll just pick one, it would be oxybenzone. That would be the ingredient that's practically in every single over-the-counter generic store sunscreen, which is basically toxic to the body. And then let's say you were to go find an organic brand of sunscreen. They won't use the form of oxybenzone. They'll use the form avobenzone, which won't penetrate into the body and become so toxic, of which our body absorbs all of that, yet it will block the UVA sunlight, which is why we're trying to, we're all trying to avoid, say, melanoma and basal cell carcinoma and all that. So my point is, if there is something out there and we have a choice, why are we not using it? I don't know. And really, many of the brands that are out there that are organic, because as soon as people hear organic, they freak out and think the price is tenfold. And you know what? There are some products where that is true. But in the world of sunscreen, if you're going to spend $8 to $10 on sunscreen at the generic store, it's probably $12 to buy the non-toxic form that we're putting on our children.
Right.
It's that simple.
You're putting it in your pores. I mean,
totally.
That's your filter.
You might as well put it on your tongue.
Yeah.
your liver, your skin is your next greatest filter, isn't it?
That's right.